We're back, and just a little disclaimer about 2 hours after we recorded this episode, the WCL decided to announce the wildcards for Pipe. So when we're talking about it in this episode and we say no one's been announced, that's why. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Insiders Audio Noughts. My esteemed colleague Matthew, everyone else in the world, the greatest podcast in our opinion. A raging store outside, Matthew. Storm. I think we spoke, and I was really keen to get this episode up and running because basically this is the only competition, surf competition, that honestly has meaned or will mean anything in the top end of the world over the last 6 months and all the way until I think end of March, which maybe is the last challenger. I guess it's end of March, and
Yeah.
then crack into the opening competition of the year, which is what?
Spells.
Bells. How crazy is that? Start at Bells for Easter.
Yeah.
First week of April. So here we are. It's supposed to kick off on the 29th of January. I think something that's been lacking in our surf-hungry media world and appetite is a Hawaiian comp. That Eddie hasn't had anything pop up. What was the comp I was going to say was just a week or two ago to Hui, nothing. So here we go. It's the Challenger. It's an incredibly important competition. There's only two comps left. They've got to pick a top 10, and the forecast is off the hook.
Yeah. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because normally, or not normally, but for the last couple of years, the backdoor shootouts had an amazing forecast and amazing waves, and then it goes into the WSL event, and it's been, the year Jack Robinson won it, it was like 3 foot, and even last year they had one good day, but it wasn't, or two good days, it wasn't like all time. But this forecast is looking very good.
It's looking very good. Like you never know, like with the winds and everything. But it just goes to show that it's a lot of luck in the surfing world. It's easy to ride off WSL. I'm sure a lot of people over the time said, yeah, it's because it's the Hui. Of course, they're local and stuff, but they're like everywhere else in the world that tries to have a comp, and you're subject to Mother Nature, and Mother Nature has got a mind all of her own.
Exactly, 100%. And you know, like the concept, the Florence comp that they put on, pretty stacked lineup and stuff. I mean, John in it, and that the final day was what, like Eli Hanneman won it doing airs,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. So yeah, we do a pipe comp with good waves, and fingers crossed that comes, because also I feel like sometimes you feel for the people on the Challenger series where they've had, especially the last couple of years, they've had really shitty waves. And we've said multiple times, like, how does that person go from winning 2 foot, like 2 foot slop, to then the first comp of the year, they've got to go and surf in pipe, and they've got to go and surf chopes and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like the Challenger series needed a wave like pipe. I didn't think it'd ever get pipe, and I think it's only a 1 year wonder. But I think they needed a proper wave, and so I hope they do get cooking waves, because there's some people in this Challenger series that could really do damage.
Oh, it's just I'm trying to get a surf line up. I don't have it enough. I've got my login on this computer. Oh, yes, I do. So wait on, did I just wait on? Let me sign in. From what I saw, I've been checking it every day. I've also been checking the webcam because I'd love to have a bit of a look what the most premium spot, because they're the same season as us basically. This is the North Shore winter, Northern Hemisphere. So this is usually when you get pulsing waves. And if you do get a chance, listeners, and you got Surfline, go on and whenever you want and have a look at the pipeline surf forecast because you got the camera. And like there was a day last week where I said to you, Matty, I said, "Oh, have a look," and you said, "Oh, I think you thought that." Oh, I can't remember. Either way, for me, it's pretty exciting looking at 8 to 10 foot pipe, even if there's no commentary. Um, Maybe it's even better. You
Yeah.
see some hell. You see some hell waves.
Yeah, 100%. And you see, like, you kind of like sometimes when you're on
Okay.
there, you're like, fuck. Who? I remember there was a Surfline Rewind that got posted or whatever, and then people were like, who the fuck was that? And like, it was that Steve Robertson, and I'd never ever heard of him. And then I like looked him up, and I was like, fuck, this guy's
Is that
amazing and stuff.
is that Baby Steve?
I think so. Yeah.
Baby Steve from Jaws fame. So look, if we're looking at it on Tuesday, this is warm up period, but this will be interesting because warm up or non warm up, I had a look yesterday and there was a good 60 people out there and I was only 4 to 6 foot. But Tuesday will give us a bit of an idea because it says it's 8 to 10 foot offshore, which is similar to the first day, which is the Thursday, except the winds look better on Tuesday. So we'll have a little bit of a look on Tuesday ourselves, and if by the time our episode comes out, people might not be able to see that, but it looks like Friday's 8 to 10 foot. No, Thursday opening day, 8 to 10 foot. Friday, the 30th, 10 to 15 foot. Saturday, 10 to 15 foot. Sunday, 6 to 8 foot. And then all the way through, then the next couple of days are pretty hard. And then I think you've got the Wednesday, which looks like it's 8 to 12 foot. Now, surf line's hard to predict if you're not Hawaiian. Like we're looking at that 10 to 15 foot and thinking whatever. But if I remember when I was there, it seemed to be pretty accurate. So that would be, let's say, 2 times overhead and offshore. And they've got a lot of heats to get through, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
around a 96. We still don't know how they there's no
Yeah.
heat draw up. So let's say there's 96 at 4 man heats. They might not even get through round one of the men on the first day.
Mm. Yeah.
That's 24 heats.
Yeah.
If you do a half-hour heat, that's 12 hours. They'd have to impossible. So I don't know how they're going to do this.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
I
interesting
reckon
for
they're
sure.
going to now that I've put those numbers in my head, I reckon they'll kick off first thing.
Same.
Yeah, because they've
They've
got
got to.
3 days of banging swell. They're not going to be able to finish it in 3 days.
No, but they've almost got no choice to just push the button because obviously they need to get down to sensible numbers so that they can be a bit more picky for the finals day and things like that. Otherwise, they're going to end up running really, really crucial heats in not ideal waves. So yeah,
For example, if they smash it, if it's a 4 day comp and they smash it in that first 3 days, wouldn't surprise me if they hold off on the women. Maybe run the women because there's less women. Huh? Run the women on a Sunday, and then let me have a look. Then they could finish a
on the
couple of days
Wednesday.
later. But
Yeah,
yeah, but it's all speculation for the time thing. But that's what we're here to do: speculate. Um, you got any itches? Any pipeline itches?
well,
You think could happen?
we're really in the dark at the moment. The only bit of news I've seen is that Leo has confirmed he's going to take a spot in the event.
Look at this, Matty. 29 to the 9. That's a 1, 2,
10.
1, 2, 3. That's a 12-day period.
Yeah. But that's not a lot
So,
when you've got 96 men to get
yeah.
down and stuff. Yeah. So all I've seen so far is Leo is taking a spot in the men's.
So maybe they'd be crazy. They could be.
Shut
They
up about
could.
it. We don't know. It doesn't matter. We're just, but
Yeah,
uh,
you're right. You're right. But you know, I
who's
get excited about things like that. It's
yeah, but
all the
who's going
way
to be in it?
through from Thursday. I'm just saying to the Monday after. That's a long waiting period.
Yeah, they're still going to have to get away straight away because they just need to because like they probably work like you have all fucking around and if you have a couple of heats where there's buzzer beaters and you have to wait for scores, you can't kick the other heat off, blah blah blah. They're going to have to get away with it straight away.
There
Um,
might be regional rules with pipe, if I remember correctly, where they maybe can't run a certain amount of days in a row.
it and all I do know is that if you call it on, you have to run all day. Like so, I know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they spoke about that with the Florence comp. There was a day where it was meant to be really good, but only for half the day, and they didn't run at all because if you run one heat, you've basically got to stay on all day.
Okay, so the Florence Heat was a WSL sanctioned
Sanctioned.
event.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
the Dahui that was just last week or something that wasn't.
Correct.
They
Yeah,
can basically do whatever they want.
yeah, yeah. But hey, so talking about people who are going to be in it. So I said 6 times now. No mention of any women wild cards at the moment, but the only one I've seen is Leo Fioravanti has taken a spot in the men's. um, which is I guess is fair enough. I actually don't think he should. Um,
He lives up the road, mate. He's got a house at Waimea. His
yeah,
wife's Hawaiian. He spends at least 4 months there. It's a
even
challenger.
even more reason why he shouldn't be there. Like
No, I'm calling
he,
he should. If
that's
I was
fair
him, I
enough.
would.
But if he wins it, and then someone misses out because he got that win, um, it's a bit like it's null and void, right? Like,
I reckon it's a little bit like stiff shit. If Leo wins, he's got the win under his belt. He takes away the 10,000 points. Okay, yeah. The rest of the people will be categorically knocked down one thing. So
yeah, I mean, I
it's just
get,
harder for the people coming. It's harder for the people trying to have a late end season. But this is
yeah,
what it's all about.
but I
This
just
is what it's all about. Win in the gladiator pit against the best dudes.
yeah, but
Same thing for the.
I think it's this the way I see it is I think if you're on the world tour, you shouldn't be allowed to take part in any Challenger Series event. And that's a separate conversation, but like you don't get Paris Saint-Germain going down to play a League Two Paris team just because they're in Paris, right? You're in your league. This is the league coming up. So I just think because Leo might go into pipe and then not go into a different event, and you get throwaway scores and stuff like that. I just in I don't blame Leo at all. If I was
No, no,
Leo,
he didn't make the rules. You're right. But
exactly. But I
I'm
just think in surf that should be a rule that's implemented. Is I don't think you should be able to go down tiers. You could go up like for sure on wildcards, but not down. But that being said, who you fancying
who am I fancying?
with that forecast?
I'm fancying Cowley Fast,
Yeah,
Liam O'Brien,
yeah.
and honestly, I'd like to know who's in it. Apart from like
Well, we know most of
honestly,
them.
yeah, we do know most of them. So let's have a look. But there's no one apart from Cowley. There will be people that jump out. Ellie Hanneman's like he can surf pipe. He's not
Yeah,
your pick for a pipe favorite, but I'd be picking Eli. Do they call him Ellie or Eli?
Eli Hanneman.
I'd be picking him before I'd be picking a lot of other crew. Like, there's another one, Jacob Wilcox.
Yeah,
In the top 10, in the top 10, you've got Liam, who's pipe, really, really good at pipe. Jacob, who's really good at pipe. Callie Bass, honestly, we haven't seen a whole lot at pipe, but I just got a feeling that he's really, really good at pipe. And then all the way down to 50, I'm honestly not seeing Charlie Kiberon. He'll go pretty good there. He's been in the Volcom house for many years. Rio, no, Riahu Ito.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. Finn McGill, he's in the top 50. He's pretty good, even though he's more of a Sunset Haleiwa surfer.
So my pick for the winner isn't in the top 10. I'll go out right now and say my pick for who's going to win is Matt McGilvery.
There you go. He's a great surfer at pipe, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's never
Hell,
won
man.
a he's never won a top level comp. How that'd be sweet. That would
That
be
would be
sweet.
so sick. I like him a lot. He's a hell man. I mean, it's a proper forecast. So I think, you know, I think some people will get found out and I think some people won't and stuff. But he goes, he's obviously got experience from surfing there a few times on the top level. Um, he's definitely not going to be scared. So I reckon Matt
You
and him will
know,
get it done.
I wouldn't mind throwing out, and you can shoot me down. I wouldn't mind throwing out a feel good win.
I know who you're going to say.
A feel good win of the century. Okay, tell me.
Mr. Baker.
No,
No. Oh, okay.
no, someone who's got someone who honestly has got a real good crack. I don't think Jacko's got a chance to win it, even though he could go good.
Um,
Have a
whoa.
look have you got the top 40 up in front of you?
Yeah.
Well, have a look. There's a name in that top 40 who's really, really good at pipe.
Um, well, I want to say that you're thinking maybe Mr. Ryan Callanan.
Yep.
Yeah. Very,
I
very good.
mean, he's had his chance, all that, but he got knocked off. He was good enough to be on there. He's a freakishly good surfer. He's a great pipe surfer. And then during the start of the Challenger Series this year, or was it last year, the CT? I can't remember. I think it was last year. He had his baby, so honestly, he could win it. I'm not sure he's gonna win it, but of course I'm not sure he's gonna win it, but he could. He is
Yeah.
someone who like as good as I think he is another guy who's a fucking incredible surfer. And I love watching him surf. Taro
Yeah.
Watanabe. I wouldn't be picking him for the win
No.
or even the final, where the names we've mentioned. Matty McGilvray. Gee,
So
yeah, that's why they need to
I've
have
got
some specialists in there. That's for sure.
I've got a
Because
really, really interesting one, and I don't know if he's going to do the event because we can't see yet. But 83rd on the Challenger Series rankings
I'm there nearly.
is a Mr. Julian Wilson.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it. Even though it'd be good for his brand that he did do it.
It would be incredible. Plus, he would also have a massive chance of winning it. Like, and it'd be sick to see him win it.
Actually, maybe if I'm not mistaken, Matty, they don't do a full round of 96. In fact, I think they have a elimination round of maybe 8 heats would be 32. And then
Yeah,
the top two from each of them go, and then they run a full round from the top 64.
I think you might be right.
Okay, so I think so too. I know Justin Beckray's in it. He's 65th. I was in the surf with him. I already said that a couple of episodes ago. And there's three in a row good pipe surfers. Jackson Bunch, Jet Shelling, who I'm not really a fan of, but I think he's a good pipe surfer from from previous footage, and Justin Beckray, who's a good pipe surfer.
Yeah. And do you know who also would be a really, really good feel-good win?
Luke
Um,
Swanson's a good pipe surfer.
yeah. But Aidan Massenkamp, been on the poddy,
Oh
and
yeah.
unfortunately recently his mum passed, which we sent our
Oh
best wishes to him and stuff and feel for him. Just would love it if something aligned, like it did that year with Mick and his brother,
yep.
where he just wins it, just gets 10 every wave.
Well, let's fingers crossed for him. You can see actually from around about ranking 76 that these guys are got heaps of points, which 81. So it suggests that there's 80, there's probably maybe is there like 84 surfers, and then the rest of the guys is wild cards.
Yeah, I mean, I think they aim for 96, and I think the top 96 can enter, but then obviously you've got injuries, and then you've got people like Julian who's no showing. I think Kolohe won't show. Um, and then there's people like I think like Al Cleland Jr.'s got points, but he's on tour, so I don't think he's bothered anymore and stuff like that. So then they'll fill the rest up with the wild cards and with the locals, I guess, and stuff, which will be really cool. Because who just won? Or that Sheldon Paishon, he just came second in the Hui thing, like, and like obviously that's nothing to do with it and things like that. But it'd be quite cool to.
They They didn't pick a winner because they didn't pick an official winner. I think they picked a standout or best wave,
That's it,
which
yeah.
went to Dwayne DeSoto's son. I forget his name,
Duke, I think. No,
with an M, I thought
yeah,
it was. If you look at what's pretty sick is if you look at the front page of the pipe comp, there's a there's there's the barrel Kelly got for when I think he won against Seth Moniz, where he side slips into a 10 to 12 foot backdoor front side pit. It's honestly it is the one comp where you see a really big difference between the best guys and then the other guys, as opposed to if you put them out at 3, 4 foot snapper, okay, there's going to be a couple of locals that maybe establish themselves from wave choice or whatever, but they nearly all kind of send it and look pretty good. You know what I mean? Where
mm. Well, what do you
pipe,
what,
you
what do you
tell
think
me,
about the women though? Like, because there's some women in this again in certain parts of the rankings where there's some where you've got just huge question marks of whether like they've ever surfed a
oh,
wave like pipe and
some
stuff.
of them probably have never. Imagine they're looking at this forecast, and that's now what that's a really interesting thing. Is now that's what the World Tour means about. But this is their chance, and let's give them a crack. The Basque girls will probably have a pretty good go because there's plenty of solid waves smashing through. Francesca Vasilko, I think she's from Carcavelos, to tell you the truth, which is kind of like Super Tubes. So even though she's not known for it, you've got to think that she must have seen some sort of big, heavy pits in her life. But
Yeah,
wow,
I mean,
there's
uh,
no one in the top 10 apart from, okay, so the one person in the top 10 that maybe stands out, which shows that the Challenger Series girls have got a long way to go, or we'll soon see, is Sally Fitzgibbons.
yeah. Well, see, the thing for me is, I said it on a couple of episodes ago. Might be the one we haven't released yet. Yolanda Hopkins has been there a long, long time. She's been
But,
putting in a lot of
yeah,
time,
but has
but
she got any good pits?
she's
Has she
got a few that
posted
have
any
gone
good
up.
pits?
Yeah, she's got a few. But the standout for me is number 10. So Kira Pinkerton
Ah, I
in
was about to say her.
in
Yeah,
the
I'm calling her favorite.
in that natural selection where the waves were horrible, like in terms of like they were sizey, hollow, reef break, over shallow reef breaks. She did not pull back once. She sent it.
Nah,
She
she
sent
was ripping, man. There's pictures of her. I don't know where it is in Indo, sending it and then
yeah.
like getting blood off her and everything. I think she's got, mate. I'd be calling a favorite, even though I don't know how she goes backside on a tube, but I've got a feeling that if she's charging like no tomorrow front side, they usually do the same thing both ways. Is
And
it
also, I know someone who is heading there who is 30 odd in the rankings. She's 38th in the rankings,
Yep,
and she is not afraid of a big barrel.
38. Sierra Kerr. Yeah, there you go.
She's,
She's the other. Look, 42. Is she in it? Vahini? Yes. Did
yeah,
she get knocked off? Vahini. There's another favorite. So you
And
got
then
Bahini, Kira Pinkington, Luana Silva, maybe. Some of these girls are just like kids, man, and
yeah,
they're going to be.
but
Well, they
then
might not run them until the smaller days.
but then some of them aren't going to go. Like I'm pretty sure Sky Brown's not going to enter and things like that. So then you're talking about wild cards, and does does the Queen of Pipeline get called up?
Well, I would give her one. I'd give her a while. You got to at least show the girls in the comp what actually is possible. Otherwise, we could just be sitting there watching
Yeah,
what
and then
maybe was going to be possible.
and I'm fully prepared to have Tia Zaborski just fucking like just make it out of every pit and look like she makes everything else look easy. She might not, but I'm prepared for it because she's unbelievable.
Who?
Tia,
Yeah. That'll be good. It'll be soon. I think she'll be looking to looking to set some sort of precedent to answer any potential critics. Would you
yeah,
not say?
yeah, 100%. I completely agree, and I think she's like that. She seems like she's got that kind of I want to make sure that I prove everyone, um, like or I show the world what I can do, and she doesn't seem scared. She seems set up for it. So yeah, it's going to be real interesting. I think if I were picking a winner for the men's, because there's 96, I'm going to allow myself two. I'm going to go Matt McGilvray or yeah, I'll be boring and go Cali Vast. And for the women, I'll probably go Sierra Kerr just because she is legit. And if she's in it, Moana Jones Wong. If she's not in it, then maybe Kira Pinkerton.
Well, I'm going to go Kira Pinkington and Bahini with Sierra Kerr into the quarters. Quarters, they'll be four man. No. By the time they get to the quarters, they're down to two, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah. Sierra's, you got to think she's going to make the quarters in that field, but for sure. And Sally, I think, is going to get a result. I don't know if she's going to win it, but um, and on the men's, I'm going to throw a sprinter in the works, and I'm going to say Cowley too, because I'm wondering if he's just not got. He's talked about he's gold medalist, got a few 100K on Insta, but there still is a lot of question marks on whether he's a top five contender for a world title or even to get on the tour, right?
yeah,
So if he does it here, that could be that little
yeah. It could be that.
nut, that
Yeah,
little nudge that just sends him, who's already got confidence. I'm sure they're all confident, but there's a big difference between having the confidence he's got, which he's got at Chopu, and the confidence he's got everywhere else in the world,
yeah,
like someone like a Medina or a Mick Fanning or obviously how Kelly was. Guys like well, there was that era where there was Taj, Parko, Mick, Andy, Kelly. You knew they were always going to be one of them in the final. And since then, we haven't had that, have we? Well,
no, and
John and Gabrielle.
I think the feel. I think a few. I've heard a few people speak about it. Like I've heard Conor O'Leary say it as well and stuff. Is the difference between confidence and feeling like you belong at that stage. And I think Conor said like he doubt even though he was on the world tour, he doubted he felt like he belonged there until like maybe last year, and obviously he got results and things like that. And I think that's something that Leo has always been amazing with. He's always been confident, but he also always
Backs himself.
looks like he's like, yeah, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. And I think if Cowley does really well here, if he wins it or does really well, I think it's going to give him that extra, like, yes, I belong. This is where I'm meant to be, and this is where I'm going, kind of thing. So that would be cool. I have just had a thought before you, because we've just spoke about all of this.
Oh, I didn't say my second pick, Matty,
Yeah.
which was the spanner. That was Jackson Bunch.
Okay. Well, we might need to change our women's picks depending on. the thought that's just come into my head. I think Carissa Moore will turn up.
Yeah, she could because it's just invaluable for him to get that experience out there. And Chris is smart. Now, if she turns up, she's a definite finalist.
Yeah, like 100%. And realistically, if there's one wild card to be had, you would expect her to be saying to the WSL, "Get me in." And if there's one wild card, how can you say no to her when she's the what, five-time world champ?
So just say Molly asked to surf.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's gonna,
she won't. Yeah.
but you would now, and this is why we're talking about confidence and prestige. Would you just put her at the top of the list as favorite? I would.
If yeah, well, I'd say yeah, she's definitely like should if you're betting money, should be put who you'd put money on.
I mean, her and Katie go pretty well, just as good backside as they do frontside.
Yeah,
Now, Moana doesn't.
no,
Neither does Vahini.
no.
Sierra Brooks does because you never really know what you're going to get at pipe. Depending on the swell direction, it could be a day where everyone's scoring on the rights, which is going to be the hard thing at the end of this year for Steph. And that again, Steph can win, I think, going back to her.
Well, that's what Carissa's done. So even though she
Yep.
won, she came second in the John John thing, or won the she won the John John thing or something, or came second. I can't remember which one, but it was all backdoor. It was all front side. I've not actually seen Carissa go left
She
at pipe.
can. She did. She did it at Chopu and everything. And it
I
was
meant at pipe,
always,
but yeah,
yeah, it was always real. Like, it was a talking point for her. She was there, practice on it and stuff like that. As opposed to, like, Katie just was doing it. She didn't have to go and practice. She just fucking, she's just the best. And then same with Molly.
yeah,
Like, it's like they didn't have to work on it, and they work on it as well. So where Georgie Pitter could go okay, he's pretty good, man. He went pretty
yeah.
good at pipe in his only showing there. He went good.
Came fifth. Came fifth
Mateus
that year.
Hurd, he's pretty good too, even though he's never really had the opportunity. Where now they've got the opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. And sitting 10th, there's a young guy there, Mr. Winter Vincent, who a lot of
Winner
people
Vincent,
keep.
this is a real good chance for him to have a crack at it. And Oscar Berry, who we haven't talked about at all over the year, but I keep seeing him there. And when you look at his Insta, he's an insane surfer.
Yeah,
Is he an insane barrel rider? I can't remember where he comes from. I think he's just south of northern New South Wales. I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to know. So, while you mentioned something, I'm going to investigate it.
I'd confidently say he's from Australia.
I know that.
Um, the other one as well, who's got World Tour history and really could do with a really good result here is Morgs. I'd
Oh
love to
yeah,
see
yeah.
Morgs go well.
And he's gone well
Yeah,
at at pipe, if I remember correctly. I
yeah,
wouldn't say that he is the pipe specialist, but he's pretty bloody good at pipe. And he must have had how many comps out there, do you think?
yeah, a few, a good few. Um, yeah,
There he is, Oscar. You can't see. There he is in a big pit in Hawaii when 8 hours ago. Pretty big pit. And there's another one. Pearl Jam edit done, blah, blah, blah. So let's check that out. I'm going to like that. I'm going to put that, I'll put that on our story. So, I mean, it's good to know that, well, of course, they're all there by now. 2 days ago, who's he there with? Brent Dorrington from the Mad Hueys is also a mad barrel rider.
he's from the Gold Coast.
There you go. So he's got tube written all over him.
Yeah,
But there's a big difference between a Gold Coast Kira tube and a 12-foot pipe set coming through.
definitely.
Oh, it's so exciting. Look, See, this is interesting. Oscar's must have been surfing pipe a lot. He's putting up a lot of pictures of him in Hawaii. He's there. That's the 15th. That's 10 days ago. I wonder when he first got there.
Well, also, I
I,
was thinking about this, right? So I've seen it. This must be the first year in ages, but like Medina's not in Hawaii because there's not a world tour event there. There's definitely going to be less people there, like in terms of the big hitters. Like obviously some are
yeah.
still there, but like there's a lot of people that haven't gone.
If
Um,
you want to, which we talk about this each year as well. If you want to know what's going on at Pipe, mate, you just have a look at Jamie O's YouTube
yeah.
and Carl Rothman's YouTube and to a certain extent Nathan Florence as well. The place is the most packed lineup in the world.
Yeah.
Right? So whether there's a couple of these comp surfers there or not, it's still crowded, Matty. It's
Oh yeah, no,
absolutely means nothing that the comp guys go there or not
it's crowded, but like you're
because
not.
they're not getting waves. The comp guys, no one in this 96, no one. If you look at that list, no one in that 96 is getting a set wave except potentially um, said Jackson Bunch, and even he's not on the top of
Mm,
the pecking order. There's not a single person like
yeah,
Matty McGilvray. He's got to sit down underneath. Liam O'Brien, Jacob Wilcox, they've all got to sit down under the other guys and go the death pits. None of them are getting set, so it's the
yeah,
most crowded competitive lineup in the world times two.
yeah. What we need to do is we need to get. I've just realised we need to hit up Jay Phipps. He's in Hawaii. We should get him to do a on the ground report for us on the
Well, I'll
day
send
or
him a
something.
yeah, I'll send him a message. There's
Yeah.
probably a couple of other people there that honestly I think now that thinking about that too, I think Charlie might get through a couple of heats, but who knows? Because
Well, it's
you're in a you're in a
4-man heat.
four-man heat, you can just be in the wrong spot at the wrong time and Bob's your uncle.
Exactly. Like if you take a bad backdoor wave and then you have like and then a set comes, we've seen heats where it takes 10 minutes to paddle back out at back door. Um, and in a 30-minute 4-man heat, that's a lot of time.
Did you see that? Well, I don't know if we haven't been passing this on to each other, but Jamie had a pipe episode come out not long ago, and it was pumping pipe, mate, pumping pipe. And he's out of the house, he's checking in, he's coming back. I think last year he looked a little bit fitter. He's not looking unfit this year. I think for Jamie, it's probably a struggle to keep tiny and trim, especially now he's had a kid. Uh, he doesn't have a massive paddle. Like
No.
he's not serving a big long point break. He's fit enough to surf that, and he's out there. He got hell shack. He missed a few, and you're thinking if he's missing a couple, I think he went down one and he had to go straight. It was just an absolute death pit. Welcome back, Matty. In our quick little pose there, I was doing a little bit of investigating on the old Graham and Morgan Sibilic, just
Mm.
slamming some deep pits. I'm going to post them on our story. I'm going to post all week, non-stop pipe. Uh, uh, yeah, I guess you can feel my excitement. I think the favorite thing about competitive surfing is watching incredible waves. I mean, I think the worst thing about watching incredible surfing is crappy waves. The other thing I was thinking about is since the whole World Tour changed, we haven't had the top end guys of the Challenger Series at Hawaii for a comp in like 3 or 4 years. So imagine how exciting it was for these guys this year to one, be able to just have Chrissy at home, cruise out at the end of the year, and then, for example, have this being the 29th. Honestly, how many of them have got full-time jobs? Um, I think I
No.
said it to, I forget who, it was a good excuse for them to just get out of the house and say to their girlfriends, boyfriends, family, whatever, I've got to go to Hawaii. That's my job. And actually get back to having a proper North Shore season, and even more. Imagine one of those dudes who like they want to crack at it. Here's their crack. They might only get one heat, but
Yep.
like that's it. There's a chance. World stage. Yeah. They're not going to get.
100%.
They're not going to get a crack any other time.
No, and I'm excited, like you said, I'm excited for it because I'm excited to see new like people like Oscar Berry, people like um like well, even like Mateus Hurdy at pipe. I've never seen Hurdy at pipe. Really excited to see that. Really excited to see, more of Jacob Wilcox at pipe, Kira Pinkerton, Tia Zabrowski, Sierra. Like when we watch the World Tour, realistically, what like 85% of the tour stays the same year to year, like because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
way that it qualifies and
Yep.
it keeps it. So we do see the same people. And don't get me wrong, that's amazing. It's super exciting. But I remember the first time I got to see Jared Shanker at Pipe, I was like, holy shit, who's this guy? Like I didn't really know that much of him in those waves because you have to watch him on the challenges. And then you see him at Pipe and you're like, holy shit, like, a lot of people probably have never seen or not seen much of Kira Pinkerton. Like and this I think this might be the most watched Challenger Series event ever because
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah, because there's no other comp on. There's not been a comp for a long time, and it's got weight behind it as well because it's the second to last one. So people were going to be qualifying, people were going to be rocketing up the leaderboard or falling down it as well. So I'm really excited for it as for a few reasons, but definitely to see some new people and to see some people given the opportunity to kind of make their mark.
There you go, and get a feel for it. And some people that you think, oh, is that guy any good? And whoa, how good is that guy? Like
Yeah,
Jacobs posted a pretty good wave of him at Pipe, but it wasn't like all time. Lobby's got no pictures up. I saw a little picture on Jackson Baker's Instagram where they're playing rugby at the Sunset School Elementary, which is a kids' school across the road, and Sophie McCulloch was in the
hmm
picture. Now, is
she
she on
goes.
the Challenger?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
she
didn't see a
goes. Yeah,
name on that. She might go all right there. She's a bit of a charger.
yeah, yeah. She's 16th at the
16th.
moment,
There you
so
go.
she can make a move.
Whoa, there's a fairy tale
Yeah,
story for her. Imagine her and Lamb get a big result, both cement a qualification, or both dud and get sent home.
yeah. Um, and like I said, forgot to mention someone, but like we talk about like making a name or proving yourself and stuff like that. But Winter Vincent's got a real big chance to put a flag down as like yeah, like Dane Henry's just won the junior world title, blah blah blah. But don't forget about me, like kind of thing. He could qualify for the tour. Like, if he goes deep in this, he'll pretty much solid. Like, if he's semi-finals or better, he's kind of pretty much put himself on the world tour for next year.
Yeah, for guys like Winner Vincent, um, Mateus, Hurdy, who are
Yeah,
really looking for their first crack at qualifying. He's never qualified, has he, Mateus? He's been
no,
close. Okay, so for guys like them, they're that close. Like Eli Hammond, he's already been on the tour. Jacob Wilson's already been on the tour. Um,
Sammy Pupo.
yeah. But Kelly Bust, he's like them. I mean, Kelly
Yeah,
Bust, obviously, it's not the same sort of it's not the same sort of surfer as Winavisa. He's already had a lot of accolades, but he's never made the tour.
exactly.
And he's coming in
And
on a year where honestly you don't have to worry about the final five thing. You could go pretty good if you're in the top 10 coming into the last comp, top five, top six or seven. You win pipes, double points. You could be world champ.
yeah, and also with Cowley, a big thing for me with Cowley is they don't know what the Challenger Series is going to look like next year yet.
Nah,
And if
nah.
it goes back to like he's struggled to qualify because the waves have not suited him. for once, he's got a whole event. He's got 10,000 points that he can go and get in a wave that pretty much, I think if you ask most people, they would put him in the top two favorites of this event. Like, and so it's probably the easiest year for him to try and qualify when you look at the events.
He's a pretty insane backside tube rider as well, but I still think that he's
Well, he
going to
could go
have a
switch
better.
though. Like
He's
he's
got yeah, but he's got a better chance if it is obviously if it is pipe as opposed to, for example, I reckon Jackson Bunch is the same backside tube rider, and
mm,
I honestly can't wait. And next weekend there's no surf. Oh, we got just howling storms. I'm coming out of this got a light cold, so I'm probably not going to be fit for a few weeks. Um, Time's come to get some work done on the computer and watch a bit of pipeline.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for sure.
Have you got any Kugel core to continue our tradition, Matty?
Oh, let me think. I did want to bring up something. It's not a Kukul core, but I will think of a Kukul core as well. But I wanted to bring up something that's not related to surf, and I sent it to you today, and I'm not sure if you've seen it yet or not.
Well, I wanted to talk about that too. So let's forget the Kugel core. If you're going to say what I'm going to say,
I know what
he
you're. Yeah,
this guy is my hero. And I forwarded this to a climber I know, and I said, I think I love him. Uh,
yeah. So
Alex Honnold climbs up building. Oh,
when he stands on the top,
it's radical.
when he stands on the top, right? So I don't know how long it took him to climb it, but first of all, he doesn't look like he's out of breath at all. And then he stands on the top of this thing, and I think most people on the planet Earth, they would have legs like a baby giraffe.
Jelly legs, jelly arms, jelly face.
And he just stands up and goes, wow.
He looks around. Does he do a selfie? No,
I don't think he does a selfie, but he
it
puts his
does right
arms
down the
up
bottom.
and I think he waves to people and says, I
Yeah,
made it or something like that. Oh
yeah,
no, he says, can you see me?
yeah, yeah.
And, and I was like, there's this footage, I'm going to send it to you, but someone was on the 89th floor and they just recorded him just going past it up their window. And it's the
Well,
most
if you don't know
crazy
what we're
footage.
talking about, people, we're talking about Alex Honnold, who free soloed El Capitan from free solo fame. I think probably top three or four athletic uh, humans on the planet. There's him. There's Killian Jornet, who sprints across mountain crevices. You know him too, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's not as well known as Alex. He's still doing it. So he climbs. Tell me what country it is again.
Taiwan.
Taiwan. The name of the building?
I
Tompai.
think I think it's called the Taipei 101 because it's got 101 floors.
Live on Netflix. So live,
Live.
climbing this thing live. So anything could happen. Didn't. At one stage towards the top, I watched all my favorite bits this morning actually, because I didn't watch it live. It was during the night. You see him, he's got to go up these three kind of overhangs. Do you
Yeah.
see the power in his
Yeah.
arm when he does a chin up, just slow?
It's his
Just,
hands.
it's
Like
just,
I reckon he just crushes stuff with his the grip of his fingers and his hands are just and his forearms.
I reckon if he had an apple in his hand, he could just
Yeah.
turn it to mush, couldn't
Yeah,
he?
he could just make apple juice anywhere he wants. He
He could
and the
just
mad
open
thing
an
about
apple juice stand or
just yeah,
grapes.
he he literally the whole time didn't look out of breath at all. And I mean this is what you've got to be to do that, but he's so calm.
He's
Just
so that's why he's been able to do what he is because and that's one of the reasons why like I was a real fan of him. My big thing from Free Solo was that he wasn't a cowboy. Like, I would have nearly been happy out of the first time thinking, oh, that's just a cowboy. Um, like Sean Mark, I forget his name, who was the alpinist, who was a little bit crazy and he used to take acid and French Canadian, who died. Like because he just took too many risks. My wife's cousin's an alpinist. He's been to many a 6,000 around the world. It's fucked up, mate. I mean, you put me over 1,800 meters, and it's been a few times. And generally, I get a little bit of altitude sickness. I guess I grew up at ground zero.
Mm.
That guy died. Like too many risks. Where Alex
Yeah.
doesn't look like that's going to happen. Not
No,
saying
but
it's not,
fuck
but it doesn't
me.
look like he's got his wife there watching it.
That's horrible. Like what that is madness.
But
Absolutely crazy.
the skill, the technique, the showing the rest of the world what's possible, I wouldn't advise anyone in the world to do it. Ah,
No, but fair
he
play
wants to
to him.
do it. Do you see? There's a part. I don't know what floor it is, and I was a bit this because I was a bit stressed. Where there's a room where there's like about 40, 50 people in there taking pictures of him through the
Yeah.
class, and he's like waving to them and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, leave him alone. He's got to concentrate.
I know. Um, yeah. Absolute like the guy's a lunatic.
There you
Like,
go. Well, it inspired me to do a little bit more training. Now I've got a hanging board on my terrace here, which is really good exercise for surfers, by the way, everyone, is to hang. It's really good for your shoulders. I don't know, depending on people's lower backs, you probably shouldn't hang and swing, but if you can hang just with your tippy toes touching, you can stretch your shoulders out, you can stretch your spine out. And more importantly, what I learned on, I forget what show that was. I think it was Master Class. I watched the thing on aging. Now, one of the most important things for people in their later life, and you've got to start it early, is having strong wrists and strong hands. You're shaking strength. So if you fall over, you're not breaking shoulder, breaking your wrists, and all these sort of things like that. And also, your whole life's based around like what you can do with your hands. So, like, if you can hang, hang. This dude can hang all day.
yeah. And probably for about a week, to be fair.
So Google Core. Free solo, the highest vertical mountain in the world with cameras and your wife watching.
Fuck. I mean, it's core as, but if it goes wrong, it's pretty
There
kooky.
you go. There you go. I mean, I don't know which way to swing either, but obviously I'm going to swing to the core because I think it was in free solo. They checked his brain out. They said that he had a lower tolerance rate, which maybe he built up. He met his wife in that episode. He fell once or twice, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know if it's her." And basically, I think if he can't do this, his life isn't what it is. Now, I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing for
Well, it's just
surfers.
it's yeah, it's the same as like if you put it into perspective, like pipeline, which we've been talking about, is the deadliest wave in the world in terms of like not in terms of like weird things like shark attacks or like anything, but like just how it takes people. Look what it done to Owen Wright. Like you would say that Owen Wright was at that time. You could have put him in a parallel with Alex in
Yeah,
terms of it was in the top
ability.
3 or 4 in the world. Goes on a wave, probably had his wife watching. Goes on a wave, then almost can't walk. So there is a correlation, and that's why I do think it's core because you've got to go. For some people, they've got to go, but it's fucking scary when you're 101 fucking floors up on a building in Taipei.
Well, also, I just don't think he can. I mean, he does never stops climbing because I follow him on
Yeah.
his Instagram, just does it all the time. Now, I had a really interesting conversation with one of my really good friends on WhatsApp a couple of weeks ago because it was right in the middle of one of our swell runs. And last year I stayed with him in Australia. We had a little bit of we didn't have an argument, but he got angry with me because I didn't come with him surfing one day when it was full on, but I'd already done a runner on the family 4 or 5 days in a row. And I kind of got, I got a few weeks later when I was back here, I sent him like a blah, 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 blah. And he was like, I don't know how to answer that. And then he was in Europe and traipsing around Europe where he wasn't surfing. And one night, I think he'd had a couple of drinks and he rang me because we were on the same timeline. And he was going, I'm never fucking coming back. And, mate, I've had some good waves in my life. And I said to him the other week, I said, it's more powerful than me. It's hard to, like, I could try and look for a winter job and work in a supermarket for really fuck all, or surf incredible waves and then just try my guts out, work 6, 7 months in my life.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I just can't do it. And I said, fuck, what would you do without surfing? And he sent me back a message, I'd rather be dead. And
Yeah.
I know he meant it.
100%. I know someone who I went to Indo with last year, Sonny Timpson, incredible surfer, super, super nice guy, one of the nicest people I've ever met. He basically, for the last however many years that I've known anyway, he comes back, he's a lifeguard, he works 7 days a week pretty much all summer, and then November November hits, bye, he's in Indo for 6 months.
There you go. Because and at one stage he's going to get doubts in his mind, like I've had many times. Oh, I could have owned a house. I could have done this. I could have done that. But maybe not, because if you hadn't tried to do the 9 to 5 when you're not made for it, invest and do all those things right, maybe you're going to have a midlife crisis, commit suicide, go off the
Yeah.
rails, get hit
Or
by a truck, and
yeah,
none of it was worthwhile anyway.
exactly. Exactly. Anyway, we'll end there. But pipe coming up, excited. We'll be on it. We'll be bringing you a new episode this week because the new Kelly Stab in the Dark episode 2 drops as well. There is more to come from us. We've also got a sick interview coming. So we're on fire. Keep subscribing, people, and we'll be back soon.
Keep listening to us. We love it. The support we've been giving. Follow us on Insta if you can, because at least then we understand who actually is listening to us. If you got any comments, just send it to us private, no problem. Like Mary said, massive episodes. A couple of shapers coming through, Stab of the Dark, Pipe, and then it's just going to keep running. We're just going to keep smashing with episodes. So if you've got to paint your house, go on a long drive with the kids, the missus, some people you don't like, and you want to put your earphones on, listen to us waffle along. Thanks a lot, Matty.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.